Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, so this trailer is for a game that nobody knew 100% existed, except I assume the people who worked on the game. Just being announced a week ago. This is Blood Bowl 3. So let's take a look at the trailer.
I made it. Finally. After all these years of hardship. After everything they told me. I will show them that even I can be the best player.
Blood Bowl!
All right, everybody, that was Blood Bowl 3. I hope you're not bowled over by just how amazing that trailer was. So Blood Bowl, I'm actually going to take the first stab at this. Blood Bowl is originated as a tabletop game by Games Workshop, the creators of Warhammer, Warhammer 40K, and all that. It's set in the Warhammer fantasy universe. It's strange to me that they're still making Blood Bowl video games because they don't even make Warhammer Fantasy anymore. But when I was a younger nerd, I played Warhammer Fantasy a lot, the tabletop game, and I was super invested in the universe and everything. So I thought it might be fun to see that world again in this trailer, which this trailer ended up just being members of that universe just massacring each other in wacky, violent ways. Kind of like a Mutant League, like hockey and football vibe. But there have been two other Blood Bowl games. It's really actually more like rugby, I think, than football. But basically, that's what it is. It's an American football rugby-esque game where you play as like orcs and dwarves and elves and stuff, and can inflict mortal carnage on your opposing team while trying to put a spiky ball in, the goal. So that's what Blood Bowl is. I will say, incidentally, right when I picked this trailer, the parent company of the developer, I would pronounce it as Nacon or Nacon, but it's French, so I don't know, got very negative publicity for a completely unrelated reason. There is litigation in which Nacon has tried to present itself as the rights holder to a game about Cthulhu, that has to be pulled off of PS4 and Xbox One just last week because Nacon is basically trying to steal all the profits and not pay the developer. So that's a thing that happened in between when I picked this trailer and that. So yeah, popcorn over to Mike.
All right. Yeah, I've never heard of Blood Bowl, never played the first two, but I am the guy that has to go and research all the stuff. So I looked into the first few games. It's a turn-based strategy game, but a lot of its charm comes from these characters. Like the announcers in the second one were a vampire and an ogre.
Hi, everyone. Our goblin technicians have been working night and day for the last year in order to deliver you the best quality service ever.
Absolutely, Bob. We can. You blithering, snotling.
And they make little comments even during while the game's going on and based on your decisions. And it's pretty funny. It's, they're looking at, like, whenever they go to replays, they look in their crystal ball. So it's like, it's very like set in its universe. It reminds me, it's funny because it reminds me of a D&D campaign I did. And also I'm not really into D&D because afterwards I was like, nah, this is not for me. But I mean, it's D&D is pretty popular now, I guess. But the campaign itself was like, our party had to fight a bunch of goblins in a football-esque game that I forgot what it's called, but like the ball was a big rock that we had to hurl. And it was, like when we drew out the map, it was just a big football field and we're running and killing people as we're doing it. It just reminded me of that because it was, literally the trailer starts out with goblins and stuff. But again, I'm not huge into this fantasy thing. Like I've given it so much, I've given it so many shots. I've tried to watch The Lord of the Rings. I'm still currently trying to watch The Lord of the Rings with a friend.
It's so long.
And yeah. And like I said, I'm just not into that stuff. If you watched the last episode, not a fan of Dragon's Dogma, not a fan of D&D. So
not a fan.
This isn't really for me. I'm just not a big fan of turn-based strategy games in general, other than like Magic the Gathering, but that's with paper.
Boo.
That's with cards.
That's different because it's cards.
I'd like to point out that the original Blood Bowl, the tabletop game, is of course by nature turn-based. There's both a turn-based and real-time mode for the video game.
So that's cool.
It's not necessarily turn-based.
Yeah, Fernandez.
Obviously, the tabletop game has to be turn-based. You're not just taking your miniatures and going, meh, meh, meh,
Oh, look at me, I'm Iron Man, and I'm just got hit over there, and look at me, I'm Captain America, and I got smashed over there like a little fly. He's just a kid, he can fall over, he's not even real. Guns aren't cool, so you can hop off the table. Bunch of losers, these guys.
All right, I'm popcorning over to Corey. Go ahead and do your thing.
This when Blood Bowl first came out as a video game, I want to say either Blood Bowl 1 or 2 was like a free game of the month on some system. But in my head, for some reason, I was confused. Like I had switched Blood Bowl with being a reboot to Mutant Football League. So I remember downloading it and then just being extremely disappointed because I was dumb and didn't know the difference.
This is 100% why I picked this trailer, because I knew it would have been free and Corey would have played it at some point. I didn't understand the circumstances, but I assumed Corey would have played Blood Bowl.
So naturally, let's say it was 2. Naturally, I booted up 2, and I was like, yeah, man, this is going to be great. I'm going to play some football and smash. It's going to be real fun. And then I started it, and it was like, welcome, Gronglor. It is time to select your team. And I was just like, oh, I don't like this at all. So when Sanford picked this trailer and I was watching it this week to get prepared for this, I was just like, oh, it's Britta's in this. Oh, I don't
I want to know why these goblins are attacking us. Maybe these woods are their rightful land, and from their perspective,
They're the AT&T of people.
So I actually don't have like anything to add to this segment of the train other than the fact that I'm a dum-dum and thought Blood Bowl was Mutant Football League.
Anything else before we boom or bust this guy?
How do you guys feel about that poor goblin announcing his hopes and dreams and then being brutally killed on his first play?
From what I know about,
did you not identify with that goblin? Did you not pin all of your hopes on the goblin in the trailer and then?
I'll answer for Fernandez. Because he was like, yes. Fernandez was watching this and was like, yeah, fantasy is stupid. Take that, you stupid goblin. I hate fantasy. I'm Mike. Man.
Well, I was basically just going to say no, but that sums it up pretty well. All right, boom or bust. Matt, you pick this one. Let's hear what you say. Boom or bust?
Yeah, bust. I always try to go a little bit off the beaten path for trailers. I don't think it's necessarily interesting if we watch trailers for things that we are pretty sure will be good all the time. Based on this trailer, this makes Blood Bowl look worse than I assumed it was, to be honest with you. This trailer did not entice me in any way. It made the game kind of look kitschy and dumb. So there's that.
Kitschy and dumb.
Corey, how about you?
Bust for me. No, just no go.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, let's make it a triple bust. This thing, not for me. I'm surprised they made it. Like when it came out, I was like, there was 2 other Blood Bowls, but whatever. So yeah, I guess we're closing the book on Blood Bowl 3.
Please step aside and let the customers off the train first.